Yo, what's up, my peeps out there in the digital space? This is your boy, Cedric Jenkins, founder and creator of Your Money Matters. I always say Your Money Matters because of the fact we get up each and every day to earn it. We have a God given, no, you have a God given right to keep it. So it is always my purpose and my passion to come out here and share some content so that you can keep more money. It's not about how much money you can make, it's all about how much money you're able to keep from what you earn. All right. I want to talk about leadership. And I want to touch on this subject because of the fact I find myself talking about it, particularly in my men's ministry uh, that I do at church. Um, some of the conversation I have in outside of work, maybe sometimes inside work. Um, I just have I be in dialogue all the time with other folks about leadership, and um, we need leadership. Okay, no way around it. There's no debate that we do not need leadership. Okay. I always say when there's no leadership, there's no standard. And then when there's no standard, chaos and confusion becomes present. I'm gonna say this one more again. When there's no leadership, there's no standard. When there's no standard, chaos and confusion becomes present. Take a look at what's going on in the world today. For that matter, take a look at what's going on in this society. Let's go micro. Take a look at what's going on in your municipality or your community. Chaos and confusion. And 9 times out of 10, when you have chaos and confusion, leadership is missing. I want to talk about um, some things about leadership. And one of my many mentors, had given me like a what you call pillars of leadership. All right. Now this is probably gonna sound cheesy, but I'm here to tell y'all that we are lacking leadership. If you at work and there's a lot of chaos and confusion, chances are you can point it back to leadership. The success and failure rise or don't rise on leadership. Well, I want to go over some characteristics, or one would call it pillars of leadership, and hopefully this this will help. But leadership has some different personality traits, some skills, things of that nature. They have behaviors. As a matter of fact, leaders are considered skillful, or shall I say, practitioners, right? They are set apart from everyone else. You would feel when a leader is present. It's just that energy that they bring about themselves. Oh, that's a leader. That is a leader. You know it when you see it. You know when you feel it. All right. And chances are a leader will have these character or personality traits. One, vision. Leaders have vision. All right. It's one thing to see, but it's another thing to have vision. And when you have vision, you can see beyond what's in front of you. All right. They can forecast things. All right. And the vision provides direction. Vision provides purpose. All right. Whether it's for your home, whether it's for your organization, or what have you. But that's what vision does. The second thing that leadership have a leader will have is integrity. I'm big on integrity. This is where you do the right things when nobody's not watching you. You being transparent, you being honest. You're a trustworthy person. That's what integrity is all about. Another a leadership personality is communication. Now, let me just preference communication because you just can't say communication by itself. Effective communication. That's crucial because you have to be able to effectively provide the vision, expectations to other people who follow you. But also in effective communication, guess what comes along with effective communication? Talking. Effective listening. So you have to be able to listen, effective, active listening, to get an understanding from somebody else's point of view before you give your viewpoints or provide your feedback. You have to be able to allow others to give you some input or some feedback on something before you give feedback. But that's called effective communication. Another leadership personality is empathy. Okay. Understanding the needs and feelings and perspective of other people. This is just simply respecting others. All right. Respecting others. Another one is being decisive. All right. Being decisive. This is where a leader makes timely decisions. All right. They get enough information and then they take that information and just make an informed decision right there on the spot. All they need is enough information to where, boom, here's the decision. Here's how we need to move out. They have the ability to, weigh out all the options, understand the risk and all that good stuff. And then right there, boom, make a decision. That's being decisiveness. Adaptability is another one. We live in a fast-paced world. Everything don't remain the same. So there are some things that change. Look at technology. Technology is changing all over the place. There's a lot of things that change, right? So leaders are able to pivot to this dynamic, fast-paced world. All right. Because if we don't pivot and adapt, we're gonna get left behind. And that's not what a leader does. A true leader, understands the ever-changing situations around them, environments, things of that nature. And then they pivot, meaning they come up with a different way of achieving a goal or solving a problem or leading people, right? Influence. This is where you just simply inspiring people that are around you, people in your circle, so that you can, everybody can achieve this common goal. All right. So influence, you can consider influence as, motivating, being a motivator, being a coach. You basically helping develop people that are around you. And that's really our main purpose here on life. God himself said this, your purpose is to become a disciple. And then next, you create other disciples to advance the kingdom here on earth. We're all born into leadership. We're born into leadership, whether we want to face it or not, particularly men. We are born into leadership. All right. The other thing I want to talk about is accountability. That's another leadership personality trait. Are you responsible? Are you responsible for your decisions? Are you responsible for your behavior, your habits? All right. Do you hold yourself accountable to yourself, most importantly, and to others? Courage is another leadership attribute. Um, this is one of those things. Courage is a hard thing with a lot of people who are want to be leaders or trying to be leaders or scared to become a leader. I was that guy too early on in my leadership role. But in order for us to solve a problem head on, we have to have courage. Think about David in in Goliath story. Goliath was around there slaying people left and right throughout the land. And David himself said, well, I'm going to face this guy. David had nothing but a slingshot and a stone. But most importantly, he had faith and belief in God, which gave him the courage to slay Goliath. There's going to be a lot of things we're going to make some tough decision on that's going to require some courage. So as leaders, we have to have courage. All the stuff that I'm mentioning now, all leaders should have. I'm going to talk about these last two. Humility. All right. Humility. I was going through this small groups back here. I went through a 16-week course. And one of the things that I learned that I did not know spiritually, that pride is a sin. Pride is a sin. This is where you idolize yourself more so than God. And then when you idolize yourself, there is no room for humility. There is no way that God can use you as a disciple to advance his kingdom if you don't have humility. We have to be able to learn from others because we don't know it all, right? It takes humility to learn from others. That's why we got 2 ears and 1 mouth, because God wants us to listen twice as much than we talk. But then you have folks who want to be Mr. or Mrs. Know-it-all, lack humility, and then they don't get the understanding that they should be getting because they're talking too much. But the humility prevents them from listening. And lastly, thinking. But I'm just going to add strategic thinking because of the fact we do have to be strategic, because nothing out here is just really simple. All right. We had to be strategic. This is like when you're planning for your retirement, you have to be strategic. That's long-term goals. Anytime you have long-term goals, you got to be strategic. That's where you got the bigger picture in place. All right. So when it comes to leadership, right, I want y'all to think about this. Jesus Christ himself. Do you consider Jesus Christ a leader? I would like to, that's rhetorical because I know we know that Jesus Christ himself is a leader. Now, does Jesus lead from the front or does he lead from the rear? I had these debates with different people, different perspective. I wouldn't say debates, but nice conversations about leadership, whether a good leader leads from the rear or from the front. It all depends on your perspective. I'm just going to give you my perspective. A leader, a genuine leader, leads from the front. I want you to think about a shepherd, if you will. Compare a shepherd to a sheep herder. How does the sheep herder herds the sheep? From the rear. like so. But if he's leading the sheep from the rear, does the sheep know where they're going? Nope. But a shepherd is different. A shepherd walks and the sheep follows. That's how Jesus Christ led. That is the difference between someone who leads from the front and leads from the rear. I would venture to say, my personal opinion, that it is hard to lead from the rear. Should be leading from the front. Leaders who lead from the front set the example. Leaders from the front, they set the standards. Leaders from the front provides the vision. How can you do all those things from the rear? Shepherds lead. Shepherd is considered a leader. A sheep herder is not considered, in my point of view, a leader. I'll use one more analogy and I'm gonna close on this analogy after that. There's a difference between a thermostat and a thermometer. Back in the old days, that used to be two separate devices. Now it's all built into one. But here's the difference between a thermometer and a thermostat. See, a thermometer measures the temperature of a room. Okay? It measures the temperature of the room. A thermostat, on the other hand, it regulates, controls, or maintains the temperature of the room. So a thermostat sets the standard. It goes out there and say, there's a desired temperature that I want in this room. And it pivots and it makes an adjustment. It provides some influence. It provides some vision, right? Some integrity. It set the standard to get a desired temperature, or in life, a desired result. A thermometer, all it's going to do is just read the temperature. Those are the leaders that just, okay, I know there's a problem, but I'm just going to tell you there's a problem. See, a leader identifies the problem and provides a solution. A leader will point out a conflict and then they provide a conflict resolution. A thermometer, or someone that leads from the rear, doesn't do those things. They just say, hey, we got a problem, but doesn't provide any insight or a solution to the problem. So here's what I'm just going to close with this. Whether you're at home, leadership is our well-being of life. Whether at the home, which it needs to start at home, whether it's at work, whether it's throughout your organizations or what have you, leadership is vital to our well-being, our way of life. When there's no leadership, there's no standard. When there's no standard, there's no vision. When there's no vision, chaos and confusion, division, all that becomes present. And if you look at what's going on today, that's what you got. And all rest on leadership. We cannot get around not having it. For those who want to make the argument that we can live in life without leadership, let's have an offline conversation and let me hear what your perspective is, why we don't need leadership. Right now, the way that this society is, the way that it's going, or in this world, we are lacking leadership. But that's at the micro level. But let's look at from the macro level, but let's look at it from the micro level. Leadership starts at the home. Are we effectively leading our homes? Okay, let's go beyond the doors of our home. Are we leading in our organizations that we are involved in? Are we leading at work? It doesn't matter. You don't have to be the manager or the supervisor to lead. Every day you leading somebody. As a matter of fact, you're leading yourself. That's where leadership starts. You're leading yourself. You're being accountable to yourself. All those pillars of leadership you should be managing all of those. You should be leading yourself to success. And then when people see that light, see, leadership provide light to darkness. And when your light is illuminated, then now you have other people to that's going to attract to you. Leadership provide that lantern of light to darkness. Darkness is confusion, ignorance, stupidity. The light provides that understanding to all of that. That's why we need leadership. So y'all, I would say this. It is time to have leadership. There's no debate about it at all. So if you found some value with this, share, like, and comment. If not, that's fine. But I'm not here to trying to get likes. I don't live off of likes. I don't live off of comments. I'm not trying to get paid, whatever that is, on Facebook or whatever for content creating. That's not my job to do. I could care less about getting paid on social media. My job is to provide some content to trigger some thinking, some conscious thinking, to where we can make an informed decision to change. That's what my mentors do with me each and every day. They send me something that triggers my mental to say, am I doing this right? Is there a better way that I can do this? And we need that, because there's many ways of doing things, but are we doing it the right way? But it takes a leader who leads from the front to provide that for you. So for those who think that leaders lead from the rear, I'm here to tell you, the ones that lead from the rear are not effective enough to herd sheeps. Those are sheep herders. Sheep herders are not leaders. Sheep herders and shepherds are not the same. Shepherds walk and sheep follow. Sheep herders, they push the sheep, but the sheep don't know where they're going if nobody's in front of them. That's the difference between one leads from the rear, one leads from the front. Leaders lead from the front. All right. We'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be blessed. Peace out on this Thursday.